Hello everyone, I'm Maximus Grahamicus, and these are going to be my top 10 things that make Wildstar awesome. Now, to show you guys some of my background in Wildstar, I've played this game for over 100 days in-game across 6 characters, all leveled up to 50. I have one of every single class and path and Dominion race at level 50. So I've played this game a lot. I've experienced many different things. I have been to just about every corner that this game has to offer at least once. But still, there's many more things that I discover, and that's just one of the things that makes this game fantastic, even after all this time that I've been playing. So now here it is, my top 10 things that make Wildstar awesome. Starting with number 10, the character customization. The beginning character customization menu shows you 8 different race options and highlights class options that are available for each race. The class and path selection menus also shows you in-game footage of certain tasks and abilities that will be associated with those classes and paths. I like this a lot better than a bunch of text descriptions without any visual aid representations like a lot of other MMO character selection menus will give you. As expected, you can select your character's face type, hairstyle, skin color, that sort of thing. You needn't really worry about changing your mind later on either, because in-game there's an appearance modification NPC that will allow you to change these settings if you decide you want to later on. Now that your eyes, ears, and beard are lined up, customization is really just getting started. Once in-game, you'll be able to access the Holo wardrobe and start dressing up your toon. With up to 14 costume saving options, thousands of skins for every gear slot, and multiple dye channels for each item, now we're getting warmed up. As you play, you'll acquire collectibles such as companions and mounts that can also be swapped and customized to some degrees. Mounts are allowed to have 4 pieces of flair, one in the front, one on each side, the left and right, and one on the back. Companions, although they're purely cosmetic and will not attack, are still often sought after by many players because, well, just look at them. They're so cute, and we must have them with us at all times. Next at number 9, Wildstar's music. Video game music has become so deep-rooted in gamers that it leaves lasting impressions on our lives. In this century, any kid that grew up with a Nintendo can recite you the theme song from Super Mario Bros. Doot 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 doot. Yeah, you guys know it. Wildstar has such great music composed by Jeff Kurtnacker that Jeff released the official Wildstar soundtrack on several platforms, including Amazon, which quickly made it up to number 6 on Amazon's all top-selling soundtrack list. There's no need to mute the audio to play your own music in this game, folks. Lots of music tracks are also available to be unlocked in-game and can be played on your housing plot. Next at number 8, Wildstar's graphics. To say the graphics in Wildstar are breathtaking is an understatement. The landscapes and atmospheres Carbine has created are both colorful and creative. Every zone is packed with life. Player animations render smoothly and make the player feel like their character powers really do something. The world story that Carbine has put together, compiled with dozens of sweet cinematics, stir the imaginations of new players and keep veterans thirsty for the next chapter in the saga. And now number 7, Wildstar is free to play and has a loyalty rewards program. Wildstar isn't just a free-to-play game, but it also has an amazing player rewards program. Every day you log in, you are rewarded with a new daily login reward. Players are also rewarded with something called Omnibits just for playing the game. Those Omnibits can be traded in for items from the in-game cash shop, making this game truly free to play by rewarding players with their loyalty rewards system. Signature players are granted 3 times the amount of Omnibits per drop as the non-paid players. They also get experience and currency boosts that are convenient but non-game breaking. The store offers mostly cosmetic and housing items that don't give the paying players a winning edge over the unpaid ones. There are still useful consumable items that can be purchased, such as experience boosters, gold boosters, and gathering boosters that will only help speed along a player's progression, but won't skip them to the front of the line, granting access to all the endgame content. Up next at number 6, Wildstar's social options. In-game, there are various social options that allow players to add their friends by name or their account name, allowing them to see if their friends are online playing other characters. Players can create guilds and pick their own custom holo marks that can be displayed on the back and sides of your character. These holo marks can also be removed if the player chooses. Players can create circles for other various social clubs and to create personalized nameplates rather than just displaying their guild nameplate. You can also add neighbors and roommates to your housing plots, allowing you to share resources with them or let them decorate your plot. Now coming in at number 5, Wildstar's awesome community. Wildstar's community has had its ups and downs, but there are still people out there who continue to put on special in-game events like house decorating contests, costume making contests, and laser tag wars. Carrot is one of Wildstar's favorite housing streamers. She streams several times weekly and does housing tours for the housing fanatic community. She also uploads several of her tours to her YouTube channel, and I'll leave a few links below the video to her channel along with some others. She's both creative and nice, and deserves recognition for all the people that design masterpiece housing plots so that she may inspect them. Next, I'd like to mention Cal Scattergood, Wildstar's peppy redhead who does several Wildstar raid streams and also her very entertaining lore streams. She's full of personality and Wildstar newbie friendly. During her lore hunting streams, she spends hours hunting down lore books and reading her viewers the tales of Wildstar in an entertaining and story-like manner. Last, I want to toss a shout out to Carbine Gary. Carbine Gary is Wildstar's principal narrative designer and a very active member of the community on both forums and Twitter. He has weekly lore trivia games and hands out costume codes players can apply in-game for free skins. He also posts lots of other Wildstar related content, making him and the other developers people to follow on Twitter. Coming next at number 4, Wildstar's notorious housing. Housing is something that is starting to make its way into more and more MMOs these days, but in Wildstar, they really set the bar and they set it high. Through either purchasing a Jumpstart pack from the in-game store or reaching level 14, you'll gain access to the Wildstar housing. This patch of land is useful for many things other than just decorating, and I already have a short video if you guys want to check it out by clicking this link here, telling you about all the useful things that your Wildstar plot can do. As for the decorating options, you have full control over the ground, the sky, the music, and everything in your house. Through playing, you'll acquire decor items that can be sent to your housing crate and then placed on your plot. With scaling options and advanced 3D controls over everything, the sky is the limit. You can also bring the sky down with lightning strikes and sweet fire trails. And I collect plushies, which are like Beanie Babies in Wildstar, one of those hobbies within a hobby. Oh yeah, and did I mention there's spaceships? Spaceships. Moving on up to number 3, Wildstar's game mechanics. The game mechanics in Wildstar are unique in a way that they involve a visual telegraph system that highlights areas of the ground red to indicate incoming damage or green for healing. It also has a dashing or dodging function that gives players the ability to actually evade attacks through movements rather than a simple X versus X chance to hit the target. There are also many different types of quests. You won't feel you're simply being forced to grind mobs over and over again. Players have access to a wide range of assault and support ability options, as well as several utility abilities to complement either their assault or support specializations. There is also an AMP skill tree with hundreds of ways to assign points to unlock extra abilities and fine-tune the player's stats. Each player can have up to 4 skill and AMP pre-saved action sets that are easily swappable, letting players change roles fast. Getting to the real good stuff now at number 2, Wildstar's PvE content. The PvE content in Wildstar is really what drew me in at first. I found the world story missions to be like a graphic novel that I was playing through, and I just had to get to the end. Along the way, there are several extra tasks to do, giving players way more than they need to in order to progress to the next zone until reaching maximum level. At maximum level 50, the difficulty range of the tasks that you'll be able to do will range from super easy trash mobs and daily quests, to medium out in Arctera where stronger and more dangerous mobs and loot are, to jumpin' Jehoshaphat's in veteran dungeons, and then 20-man raids later on in the instance PvE. So whether you want to casually shoot some squishies, or fight some mobs that actually fight back out in Arctera, or take on the great challenges of PvE instances like veteran dungeons and raiding, which includes genetic archives, datascape, and soon Red Moon Terror, that the player can raise or lower the skill bar to wherever that player is comfortable. So this is also what I find gives the game a lot of its replay value, because no matter how good or bad the player is, there is something that they can do suited for every skill level. Now finally at number 1, Wildstar's PvP content. Thanks to totally rad game mechanics and sharp yet cartoon-like graphics, the player versus player combat is really what makes this game worth playing, and an experience like nothing else. The 4 main areas of PvP are open world, arenas, battlegrounds, and warplots. Nexus is a huge virtual playground that can be turned into a giant battleground with just 2 clicks of a button. With new daily PvP quests, players are now finding themselves crossing paths with several other flagged enemies in each zone. But still can't find any enemies to kill? From anywhere, players can instantly queue up for a battleground or a war plot, joining a 10 vs 10 or a 30 vs 30 PvP instance. There are currently 3 different battleground stages, each with their own different objectives. A war plot is a siege fort that can be armed and built up before 2 teams of 30 each attempt to break through the other team's defenses and destroy their key boss. Maybe you meet some friends in one of those battlegrounds or war plots and you decide to form an arena team. Note that you must form a team in order to queue for arenas. Enter competitive Wildstar PvPers. This is where you guys can test your skills. Multiple combat arenas and updated rankings posted by the developers. You guys can earn a spot at the top of the arena rankings and earn yourself the prestigious legendary artifact skins. I hope you all liked the video. If you did, please click this button here to subscribe to my channel and check out my Wildstar playlist for more great videos.